Okay, we're going to sidetrack for a little bit, just for a second, because here we have two images that I wanted to work together for a main character on another game. And these two images are a little bit more complicated in how to work together. Now, as you can see, this minion clearly looks like he needs the axe in his hand. He looks quite upset about it, in fact. So what we need to do is we need to figure a way of making it look like he's holding it. Now, to begin with, I found this image of an axe, but it was facing the wrong way. I wanted it into his right hand, but the left as we look at it. Now, the first thing I needed to do was go to my move tool and actually flip the image the other way. Now, I can do this by dragging from one side over to the other. Now, as I drag, there's actually a percentage bar here that started at 100% and now needs to go to minus 100%. So I'm going to click up here and just quickly type in minus 100, press enter, and then double click. So now it's facing the right way at least. Now, currently it looks a bit too big for him to be holding, so we're going to shrink it down and we're going to hold shift and shrink it. That's about the right size, maybe make it a little bit bigger, and double click. Now I'm going to need to rotate it a little bit, so it's starting to look a little bit more like at the right angle for how he might be holding it. But I want to line this up properly. Let's zoom in a little bit. Now, what I want to do is to try and make sure this is absolutely perfect. So I need to be able to see through the axe so I can line it up properly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to opacity. Now, if something's 100% opaque, it means we can't see through it. But if I drop this down, it'll make it slightly transparent. Now, I can drop that to about 60%, and then I can rotate it and move it until I have it exactly where I want. So let's put it about here. And remember, I can still use my arrows to move it in fine adjustments. And about there I think is going to work for me. I'm then going to double click it and say I've finished my transformation, and I'm going to put the opacity back up so I can now see exactly where that is. But let's drop it back down once again, and now what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to be able to cut out a chunk of this, because if he was actually holding it, we wouldn't see the section that is covered by his hand. So we're going to need to delete that from the axe layer. So I'm going to go to my polygonal lasso tool, and I'm going to start a trace that goes around the edge of his hand. I'm going to click quite regularly because I want it to be a good selection, and if you need to zoom in any more to do so, make sure to do that. Now, it doesn't matter where I go here because I'm only going to be deleting out of one layer. So I can in fact go anywhere I like on the screen and it's still going to be absolutely fine. Still following the line of his glove, and then when I get back outside, I just need to come back to the beginning and click. Now I've got that bit selected. All I'm going to have to do now is make sure I'm on the axe layer and not the minion layer. Make sure I'm on the axe layer and press delete. Now you can see automatically there, I can now see his hand nice and clearly. To get rid of my selection, make sure I'm on the lasso tool still and just click in the center. Now I'm going to put the opacity back up and I'm going to zoom back out. And there you can see we have a minion holding the axe.